So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike here. We're just in the final minutes of prepping the plane. And hope y'all are indeed ready for this. Now, where did that go? It was there earlier. Huh. All right, well, we'll deal with it. No biggies. Hang on here. One more deal to put in. Huh. Wonder why that's not working today. Oh, well. All right, folks. So, as you saw, we are finalizing the loadout here in Kansai. Aircraft is actually ready to go. That's a little bit of what I call hiccups. We were trying to get the plane ready to go. Ran into a couple of snags with the little cadet, and hopefully we'll get going. We have one more probably en route. And Azul, welcome. Yes, sir. MD-11 day. Uh, we have 2 flights planned. Now, I may have to break them up. We'll see. But the first one for sure flies to Okinawa. No, we're not going to Kadena, the Air Force Base there. We're going to the international airport, Naha, I believe is how it's pronounced. And hope y'all enjoy. So, with that, let's get in the cockpit, do a brief overview of what we did to get to this point, and then we're going to head out of here. First thing, though, I want to bring your attention to if you have version bear with me. Hang on, I've got it written down somewhere. 1.09 for the Rotate MD-11. This handy dandy EFB comes with it. We didn't have that with the first one I downloaded, but they had a couple up. I didn't even know they had a couple updates, but somebody alerted me. Thank you, and we got things going. So you'll get this nice little handy dandy deal. let's head over. Whoops! Before we click what I want to, up top is ready to go. APU's on. We're fueled. We're ready to go. All I'm going to do is take us off external power, which keeps us on the APU, and just making sure the few passengers we have are getting seated. Come back to the EFB, dismiss the online. I'm going to go ahead and begin closing the doors and then turn the lights off in there. All right. The other big thing is I didn't have to click this one. When you click load aircraft, it automatically opens, and that's the animation you saw. And that's one of my things I don't like about this. It loads 4 cans in. I love it. I love that kind of visual. But when you go to the deck, it's empty. Once the door closes in whatever sequence of events, they'll disappear on you. So that's a downside to me. I keep flying it because overall it's not hard. It's not a bad plane. Just a couple quirks. That's one of them. The other falls in weight and balance. You guys who fly this thing more regularly than I do, let me know if it's still the bug, whatever you want to call it. Um, the takeoff CG has to be between 30 and 31%. Don't know if it's a bug, don't know if that's real world, don't know anything about it. How do you get that to set right? Put in your total payload, fuel, don't forget your trip fuel and your taxi so you get your landing weight. It'll tell you that down there, or no, it says it right here, sorry. Um, and then manipulate this to get it to 30 to 31. Let's split hairs, is what I do, and put it at 30.5. It's right in the middle. Don't know if the new one does that or not, but this one does. All right, I'm going to try something here. Hang on. I wonder why that's not working today. Huh. Sim Toolkit, why are you failing me today? Streaming, overlay. Why is the overlay not in here? Huh. Okay, well, that's a bummer, but we'll improvise, adapt, and overcome so we can enjoy the day. All right, we're going to then, for now, move that up. Okay, that's how we'll overcome. All right, now the other thing is, my apologies, is I am part of I'm not apologizing for being part of Elevatex. I'm apologizing for their overlay. That small font, I know, hard on the eyes, very hard on this guy's eyes. So, but anyway, back to what we were saying, those are the big things. Now, you can click apply load here. Great, puts all the data in the FMC and loads the plane up properly, and then you can still go to ground ops and play with the animation. Fuel service, I haven't figured that one out yet, folks, if it actually does anything or not. Occasionally I see a fuel truck pull up to it, but occasionally I don't. So I don't know. All right, so let's button it up. And one last look outside. And the only thing we should see are chalks. That's what I see. All right. So we are ready to go here, folks. Real quick, let's bring some toolkit in and get things pre-briefed real quick. All right. Well, actually, we can regard the passengers. We got 25 FedEx guys wanting to go to Okinawa to spend some holiday time there. 141,860 pounds worth of payload. We put in 68,842 pounds of fuel. Our route today is, oh, hang on. I forgot the name of the departure. Daisy 2 to Glory, Yankee 34 to SUKMO, Yankee 50 to DONKY, Yankee 75 to ONC, Yankee 525 to IHEYA, and then the IHEYA North arrival will be landing on an RNAV. Now this, you guys who fly this regularly and might pop an RNAV in there, I got lots of questions about it because it made well, it made all the sense in the world until it wouldn't let me insert it without a altitude perf or something like that. We'll get to that in flight. So, lastly, the weather. Here, pretty nice. No sky conditions, 27 and 26, unlimited visibility. Beautiful day here. Down in Naha, pretty much the same thing, what you'd expect in the South Pacific, kind of south. Winds out of the east at 4, and a few clouds at 1400, a scattered deck based at 7000. No ceilings to deal with, 2927 down there. We're ready to go, folks. All right, again, real quick recap to get this thing going, folks. There's a great checklist. I can't remember if it was actually in the aircraft or if I had to go download it. MD-11 check, I think is what I called it. Yeah. If you head to that link, folks, in the chat, and I hope you guys on YouTube, I didn't think about that. I hope this chat follows. That will get you the checklist that coincides with the tutorial. Yeah, we're dealing with this all day, folks. I hate it. Irritates the crap out of me, but it did it in FSX. So I don't attribute it to anything. So just hate it when it starts bouncing around like that. But anyway, great checklist to follow. Just remember all the numbers that it puts in relate to the El Paso Memphis tutorial flight. Okay, great tutorial though. And also, folks, before we fire this thing up, I want to call your attention to, and I will throughout the flight. We are with Duluth Fly and DCS, Digital Combat Sim Squadron CW. Let me try that again. CVW20, raising money for one hell of a great cause, the Navy Marine Relief Society. And what they do, folks, they help our Navy and Marine personnel in the military, male, female, um, and probably Coast Guard. That I can't swear to. Don't quote me on that. But I would assume they would, since that's all naval seaward personnel. They help them transition from military life back into civilian life, or as I like to call it, civilian life. It's not a lot of difference per se, but they're coming from a more slightly more disciplined environment than you and I live in on this side of the fence. Um, and that takes a little bit to get used to. So they're there for that. They'll help them with jobs. They'll help them with finding housing. They'll help them with just about everything they may need to come out of that world they were so used to, some retiring out of it, uh, and others just, well, they're there for at least 3 or 4 years, and that's enough to make you forget some of the things that it's like on the other side of the fence. So they help them in transitioning. Now, not only in the jobs and um, housing and other things, they also sometimes have to step in, help them uh, get through the physical needs they need, and sometimes the mental aspect of their jobs. Folks, we're talking, one of the big parts of this is Marines. And we all know Marines go to battle first. They're ahead of everyone. And folks, they don't leave till we're all gone. So um, they can see and endure quite a bit. And sometimes they need just a little bit of help to help them back out of that. It's a lot sometimes they have to deal with, and that's where this group steps in. Now, I can hear a couple of you out there saying, well, that's what the VA's for. I hate to say this, folks. We'll fall through the cracks in the VA. They're so all encompassing. Veterans drop through the cracks all the time. And that's where special organizations like this step in to the cracks to find those Navy and Marine personnel, help them out, get them going that the VA forgot. Have a little bit of experience with that personally, but it's not to the level these guys and gals are. So think about it, folks. You have spare money, you just sometimes don't know about it, hidden under your couch cushions. Yeah, it falls in there. If not there, check under your car driver's seat, passenger seat, or wherever you might have spare change lying around that you know is there. Guess what, folks? Every little penny helps. So why not use those pennies, quarters, dimes, and help these guys out? Believe it or not, folks, it really does help. Now, our group together is trying to raise $2,000. We are currently about a quarter of the way there. If I look at the numbers right, and sorry, my 59-year-old worn out eyes are, I believe that's what I'm reading on this screen. So, um, something to think about, folks. They're out there protecting the rights you sometimes embellish here in the country. They're out there protecting that for you and them. So, what's wrong with giving them a hand when they need it most? So, anyway, I'll be talking more as we fly along, but I wanted to get that in here. So, all right, so we got all of that taken care of, folks, and I don't mean to belittle that in any way. That is one worthwhile organization. So, something I wanted to do here. Well, since I can't remember, I guess it's time to light the fires and kick the tires and light those fires. All right, folks, so we are currently, believe it or not, ready to push. This was not meant to be cold and dark like 95% of what I've been doing. I'm trying to get out earlier, so we might get more in. Now, today is a little different than others. Tomorrow, no stream. We're babysitting 2 4-month-olds. Prayers, please. And Thursday and Friday we'll be back at it, maybe Saturday. I don't know our weekend plans. All right. So let's get after it, shall we? Now, everything's entered, our flight plans, everything. We've gone over the flight plan in depth. We're ready to go. For those who like numbers, our V1 today is 144, 160, and 166. Let you see that. This is one thing I'm so glad to see with Rotate. Be nice if the whole McDo came, but hey, folks, half the battle won here. We'll give that a huge thumbs up. All right, over on the other one, let's just put that one in F plan. And folks, we are ready to go. I know, I'm going to have to tell you all, pick yourselves up from the floor because, yeah, 18 or 20 minutes in and we're pushing back. Okay, parking brake on. If you guys out there who fly this regularly know some tips and tricks, I'd love for you to meet up with you on my Discord channel. Um, One of those I've had troubles with this plane in particular, is the parking brake. Oh yeah, I can click my, you know, set key, but it doesn't release. Does that, if that makes sense? This doesn't move. When this moves, then it goes. So I'm sure there's something I'm not doing right. It always is. And just checking everything over here. That's called better pushback. We, by the way, are not flying for FedEx Express Virtual. We are not in this location. They are one of those VAs that you got to fly from where you last landed or jump seat where you want to fly from. And I think you can only do that so many times, but it's been a while. I just play by the simple rule. I'll just go from wherever I am. We're in Vancouver with them. It's just a couple miles away, but it's still far enough away we can't do anything. That's cool. We'll fly for Millennium Aviation, and that gives us the credit with them. So, speaking of which, we're logging in right now to get the ACARS program going, and then cranking this thing up. All right, RJBROH, fly this flight. All right, we are on the map and we are currently online. However, I'm going to go ahead set us to 2000 and there. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. Now, big thing here, folks. If you look up on the screen, you'll see the X-Pilot. That's what we use to connect to VATSIM. Two things to make sure. One, the green light where you see mode C, make sure that's on. If not, either turn the unit on, um, or or move the selector to exponder, TA, or well, you don't have to be on TA, TA or Terra, uh, unless you want to be, see your TCAS around you. All ATC cares about is that green button, I found out. As long as you see green in mode C and they see green in mode C, they're happy. It's when they don't, they get nasty. And just a little secret, I argued with them inadvertently for 45 minutes till I got airborne, and all of a sudden it went mode C, as I knew for sure it would, and he got all happy. It was so funny. About a year and a half ago, Legion flight I flew, and so funny. He got in his happy spot. So, anyway, let's get going. By the way, if commercials break in and interrupt folks, um, two ways. One, you can subscribe, and right now, subscribing, one subscription, folks, will give you 3 months of Apple TV until August 19th. That's one way you could subscribe. Current cost $5.99 for tier one. Um, I forget what it is for Prime guys, Prime users. So there's a discount I knew through Prime. The other, if it's something you really want to miss, and folks, I get it. If you can't spend the money, go to YouTube tomorrow. It'll all be there. It should be commercial free. Hope, and if it isn't, it'll come right back to where it was because it's a video. We're not live. Okay. So, and I do know that it does put up in the top corner when there's a commercial here on Twitch. You can see it, you just can't hear it. But I could be wrong. I thought I saw it on my laptop. I haven't used my laptop uh, for a couple of flights. Gonna kind of keep at it. So, but anyway, we're wasting time. Let's get the plug-in going that says better pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
And you know what? We're just going to do it real simple today. Okay, so the tow truck is driving up. It's going to hitch us up on the back end there and pull away. No, there he is. Going to hitch to the nose gear and nose hug us and push us back, singing Kumbaya. All right, so seatbelts are on. No smoking's lit. Emergency lights armed. Beacons now on. Emergency lights, emergency power switch, which is up here, folks, is in the armed position. And the fuel panel is auto. Air panel is auto. Pushback on its way. And guess what? Chocks.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
You do have a pushback here, folks. And you can click it. I don't know how controllable it is. It says left, it says right. It doesn't say stand up, sit down, fight, it just says straight. But anyway, sorry I had to do that, folks. You know it was coming. And then last but not least, we go to our auxiliary pump. Turn that on. And we're ready to go. Transponder one more time is expounding. Weather's auto.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right. Double check here. One moment. There we are. Okie doke. Always like to double check that we're there. Put that over here. Update it. And this one and update it. All right, so we are now ready to go, folks. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We're going to wait till we're finished pushing back. All right, just checking a couple things. Okay, I didn't need to turn the defogger on yet. Now I'm going to. Now, the way the tutorial says to start this up, I know this from the old school way. They always started the right side up because most of the equipment was on that engine. I don't know if that's true anymore, but that's how we're going to start once we get through this part. And we are not in VAT USA territory, so no common traffic frequencies. We just use Unicom. Unless, of course, ATC comes up. I'm not really totally expecting them, folks, just so you know. Okay. Let's go to engine. Quick story here about the airport we're at. I've told this before. Kansai was built the way it was out of the history that happened at Narita. When Tokyo needed a second airport for as heavy traffic that area gets, they went out into rural, out in the middle of nowhere, Japan, outside Tokyo, and began to build. Well, the farming was out there, and the farmers got mad and were like terrorizing the build for Narita. And so the lessons they learned maybe.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Sorry, folks. The lessons learned out of that is, well, Osaka ran into the same thing.
Stand by.
And they needed another airport down here. So instead of the possibility of farmers blowing up tractors and cranes and this and that, they set out to build island. And they built this out in the main part of the harbor. And lo and behold, they had a huge airport that stopped about right here, just on the other side here. The taxiway extends over this area. Um, and that was Kansai for better part of 20 years or so, maybe less. And watched a great documentary on this. They talked how the airport itself was sinking. That was the freaky part, that an airport was sinking. And they actually had engineering in place that they could use these pistons to put the airport, keep it level. I mean, it was a fascinating documentary on this. Well, lo and behold, they needed more space, so they extended the island over to here. Welcome to the airport that we're on now. Not as heavily built up yet as the other side. I look for it here soon. So, but anyway, I know. Quit talking, quit and start starting. Number 3. But anyway, if you ever get a chance, look it up. I'm sure it's was a History Channel show. Just fascinating about this airport, and what it took to build it. Um, Amazing. And yeah, the fishermen probably weren't happy with them, but it's a little area. Watch it, of course, be where the best fish were. Of course, that's where you always go. All right, so number 3's fired up. There goes our tug flying away. Waiting for number 3 to stabilize. Yeah, I could have been starting these on the back, but and it was interesting. Indianapolis in the wintertime earlier this year, we tried this. We couldn't get it. It kept spinning it around in circles because the ramp was iced up. It actually simulated that, folks. That was so cool. But it sucked because that meant the flight wasn't going to happen. Even though straight pushback, it kept going. It just kept going. So, yeah, I just changed and went from a different. All right, fuel. And then we'll get the center engine going and get this thing going. But anyway, I thought y'all would enjoy that. Really cool show about it. Okay, and then, like I said, whether we do it in pushback or here, we're still going to spend a little bit of time here. We got a couple of checks to do before we can go. And it really doesn't matter. Oh, no, 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 not yet. Sorry, folks. I was thinking Airbus because I call it an Airbus 11. It was right there to put the fuel on. All right, we're coming up to the blue line. Fuel's on. But I've always loved flying into this airport. Narita's fun. I'm actually enjoying the original Haneda, however you say it. But I'm actually enjoying that one a little more uh, than the other. And it was last year I started flying into it with Pan Am. So pretty cool airport. This one has always been fun. From the time we had just runway 6 till now we have both. All right, and that is all three fired up. Okay, so windshield defogger is off. Anti-ice we don't need. Air panels and auto. APU, let's check it. APU bleed off. Should see pack 2 go to flow and then go dark. This is why I kind of call it Airbus. It goes with, if you see white, you need to either turn it off, figure out what's wrong. Same thing in an Airbus. So we'll turn the APU off. Hydraulic panel, all good. And okay, so let's head down here. Get on the ground equipment's removed. Config. All right. All right. Do a quick flight control look. All right, everything's good there. Trim. Hell, hang on. All right, come down here, hit engine again. And now we're going to go to what the stab says here on takeoff 4.8. All right, that one's set. Cabin reports good. Takeoff data confirm 144, 160, 166. I don't know why the V1's so low, but that is what it says. Confirmed. I hope. And flaps. The funniest part of this airplane, folks. Flaps for today are 15, right? Yep. All right, you have this system called dial-a-flap, and to me, it's hilarious. All right, let's set them. Okay, so what you can do is you can actually set by that little wheel from 10 to 28. Why not just have it broken down like most of the Boeings, most aircraft? Why do we dial it? I don't get it. I know the MD-11 had some quirks the airlines ended up not liking about it, hence why passenger service, very short-lived with it. Cargo, oh, they made out like bandits with this plane. Um, for the money they got them for, the cost, for a lot of things. The quirks were maybe partly in that, but the landing was quirky with it. There's some great videos out there on YouTube as to why the MD-11 sort of kind of flopped. Okay, reconfirming takeoff data, we're good. To arm the spoilers, folks, now you see the arrows, that's going to move the lever down. What you're looking for is the hand. Talk to the hand, pull it up, get that red layer right here. That tells you it's armed. We're ready to go. And we'll put this in takeoff. Brakes off, and folks, let's get going. And again, we're taking off runway 6, Daisy 2 departure. And you can see, folks, you're going to have to go past your lines to line up properly in this. You see how far back that cockpit is to the nose gear? That's part of the reason why. All right, so we are on our way. Let me just see how many. Oh, we got someone up at RJOO for TT. Okay. Ah, they're doing a short run too that I'm aware of. Okay. Just different airplane. But yeah, this thing is set up so the cargo planes come in, they can offload to ships to take it into ports. It's really fascinating to see. They've got a huge rail network already in place in Japan, let alone here in the Kobe, Osaka, Kansai area. Um, the road, they have a road to the mainland. It's amazing the engineering that went into this place. Let alone, like I said, the engineers, the thoughts that went through their minds to get this thing safe. But can you imagine that? Knowing you're landing on an airport sinking. Now, be it not like 10 feet a minute, but, but still, that's just kind of creepy. From what I've heard and understand, it has stopped sinking. It's like 27 feet above sea level, but it lost a better part of 10, 20 feet. And again, those pistons kept the airport stable the whole time. So the concrete, I'm assuming the concrete is not cracking or anything like that. All right, we are just about to the end of the runway before takeoff check. Takeoff datas are good. Auto flight, we'll put her in on the runway. EAD, auto brakes, smoke, everything's set. All right, here we go, folks. Cabin's ready. Pilots are ready. I hope you are. And yes, I'm going to one day put a sound in these airplanes. I just right now a little skittish being unemployed and all that good stuff. All right, let's set the brake right now. Finish this up one more time. Okay, takeoff data looks good. Auto flight will turn on. EAD, parking brake, auto brake, takeoff, seatbelts, no smoking set. Exterior lights.
Osaka traffic, Japan Airlines 3237 at flight level 050 at 5 miles north 5 miles north of waypoint intake.
All right, copy that. FedEx 572 Heavy. We're departing 6 left. As we said, we're ready to go. EAD. Oh, not approach. We need that one. Okay. Radar transponder Terra. $80 knots. Push the stick a little down. 120. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gears coming up. Kansai traffic. FedEx 572 Heavy. Off 6 left. Gloria 2 departure. All right, let's all right, and as soon as we get on course, slats up. All right, after takeoff gear, air conditioning flaps retracted, auto on the fuel and hydraulics. EAD, auto brakes are still in. Seatbelts are still on and will be. All right, folks, we are on our way. Glory to departure. Glory, I believe, is the name of the transition. All right, we're through 7,500 feet for 10,000.
3237 at 2 miles Asuka waypoint at flight level 050, climbing to flight level 330.
I have no idea where he was. I thought he was inbound. Now he's outbound. I don't get it. All right, that's okay. Not for us to figure out, but we're on our way, folks. Linda is ahead, and things are looking really good here, folks. Okay, we're going to try. Huh. Unless it's moved. Nope, still there. Huh. Wonder why it's not visible. Interesting. All right, we're through 10,000. All right, folks, we're on our way. ETA about an hour and a half. That'll drop as we get higher. Now it's time to increase range. All right, folks, so I hope you enjoyed that. Believe it or not, this is even better than before. I know we spent a little bit of time talking about the Marine or Navy Marine Corps Relief Society and Kansai, but you know, you can't take it, you know, gotta talk about stuff that's really good. Kansai's engineering feats are unbelievable. And there are other airports now with some of what was done at Kansai done at them. Shaplek at Hong Kong. Part of that airport was built in the bay. Uh, RJGG, which ends up being a relief airport or alternate to both the Tokyos and Kansai and others. Those are the big ones I've ever seen it on. That one too, a lot of it, if not all of it, built in the bay. It just, that's pretty much all Japan has. It's either mountains or some areas that are suitable and flatter or flattened enough to farm. I mean, there isn't a lot other than Tokyo, which takes up a lot of real estate. So, and taking more every day. All right, we're through transition. Oh, we're set. 10:13. Okay. Duh. And okay, good. All right, we're on our way, folks. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the flight. Glad to have you all aboard. And for those curious, we are only a couple of hours ahead of Japan time on our flight sim. We rolled it back to only be a couple hours. If we wouldn't have been, we would have right now be 4:30, 4:35, somewhere in there. So we're actually doing pretty good time wise. I mean, yeah, they're a day ahead of us too. I'll be right back, folks. All right, folks. All right, so I just had the phone call that I've been waiting on today. Just happened. Uh, i- yeah, I'm not going to talk much about it. So it was in reference to my unemployment, but beyond that, I gonna hold tight with it. So, but I hope y'all are enjoying, especially the overspeed, and we're back in line here. We're cruising along at, oh, this is where I have the hard time figuring it out. Mach 0.81. All right, so we are doing what we're supposed to. All right, well, glad to have y'all aboard and looking forward to this. I want to check something while we're flying here. Go here. All right, so yeah. All right, well, I hope you enjoy the ride, folks. It is a blast always flying here. Um, Seatbelt sign can go off now. And on we go. So I've got a little reply to make to somebody over on our YouTube channel who wasn't very pleased with how low he looks. Um, all right, folks, we're back with you. Sorry about that. Just had to make a nice reply. What the heck? so slow out here. Let me take a look at the FMC. I don't get it. That was weird. I don't know why we slowed up so much. Hmm. Okay, all the flaps and slats are up. I don't know why. Huh. All right, well, we're back up to speed. For some reason, we had to slow down. All right, well, who knows? I'm still... The basics, I get how to make the plane work and fly. It's these little nuances that come in. They catch me off guard a lot. So, anyone one day want to team up in MD-11 flights? Love to do it, especially if we could be rotate and rotate, not one in the one for that other sim and me and this one. I kind of like to keep them the same because two questions I have. One, is the CG issue still an issue? I've never tried otherwise. We've already tipped one aircraft. That was hilarious. The A350 tipped it quite a bit. That kind of torques me how it is that way. But it is what it is. That's all I'm going to say. Um, and two, this issue. It's these little nuances. How do we work them? What I ended up doing, if you all didn't see it, our economy speed, believe it or not, is 0.83, max end 0.82, and I showed a edit. So, okay, top of descent showing, wow, 342 miles ahead of us. So we're getting there at a pretty good clip. Why is this still not working? Let me try something. There it is. All right. I don't know why it was finicky like that. Hang on. Got a couple things to work on. All right. There we go. Now, something's concerning me here. Hang on a second. Oh, okay. Whoa, this thing's really doing some weird things. All right. Well, you know, we're doing good here. We're cruising along. Now we got everything back 57 minutes away from Okinawa.
MACAIR Japan, correction Japan Airlines, 3237 at 8 miles northwest, waypoint Tango Tango 160, at flight level 210, descending to flight level 070.
All right, folks, welcome into Flying with Mike. I really, hey, Azil Leaf 915, thank you for the raid and welcome aboard, Raiders. Appreciate you coming in. A little bit about myself. Flying with Mike has been around since about 2020, somewhere in that time frame. And we've been streaming most of those 3 to 4 years, and we sure appreciate you coming in. I've been in flight simming since about 1999. Been through a lot of different sims. Got up to FSX and just like everyone stayed with it. I did not hop the prepared and ran out of memory in the computer that I had before. Never heard of that, never thought it possible, yet somehow, some way, leave it to Flying with Mike to run a computer out of memory. No, I kind of know what happened, but anyway, we turned to the folks at Mike Brown and X-Force and got a great computer here. Started X-Plane then, and folks, I'm not going back to the other side. I'll be staying here. I'm one of the few that's dedicated only to flying X-Plane. So if you have questions about X-Plane, I'll do the best to answer or find it. Oh, Anzel, you almost wreaked havoc in the CRJ. Oh no, what did you buzz my house again? Oh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully that turned into a fairly decent approach. Oh man. Well, glad to have you and the Raiders aboard. Thank you so much. And we're about 45-ish minutes out. Okay, I know it's a little higher than that, but from wreaking havoc in Okinawa. Oh no, stuck elevator. Ooh, aircraft, or did it end up being one of? Hopefully not your flight control systems on your flight stick or throttle. Sorry to hear that about a stuck elevator. Ugh. Few years back on my flight control, I've got a Satec Logitech flight system. The hat switch just stopped working. That you need to move, around. I know, get Oculus, and you don't have to worry about that. But I couldn't move about the cockpit to click anywhere. See, aircraft, the model wasn't moving, but the controls were. Whoa, that is a weird bug. Huh. Very weird. I don't know if I know I've seen with the rudder issues, and that usually turns into a yaw damper. Flip it off and it puts it back in line and working, which, what a bug. That was a big one with the C-130s. Oh, wow. Huh. I can honestly say I've never heard that. Now, hopefully, they fixed the bug in the plane, and now, you did do a proper walk around and make sure all of the control locks were released and all of that. Just kidding. Because I've known of a couple real world incidents where real world pilots did not walk around their plane, and lo and behold, somebody put gust locks on the elevator and the ailerons, I think. And they obviously could do just like you. So, yeah, there's a couple really big notable ones. Up in the Northeast somewhere, a BizJet, that happened to. Oh, I mean, I can remember back when I flew. Yeah, I get in a hurry, but there's one time I think I got in a hurry and forgot to click the alternator switch next to the battery, your master switch. I think I only got half of it. But I learned my lesson then. Slow down, take your time with these checks. And but bugs with computer software, folks, fortunately, hey, that's what I'm alpha testing one on. But right now, I don't see but a couple little problems that may just be me talking with another guy. We're gonna wait for version 2 to see if it clears up. But man, I hope they get that CRJ fixed for you. That music seems awful loud. Hang on. Trying a new way to control it. So bear with me. I'm going to. All right, I don't know if I changed it or not. But glad to have you all aboard, and all the Raiders as well. Thank you for coming over and flying with Mike today. All right, so let's get back into this, folks, and start looking at our arrival. This is where it's going to get interesting. Seriously interesting. I'll explain as we go along here. I'm going to go ahead and brief it like I normally do. Top of descent, 200 miles, so we'll kind of keep it like that. We're not going to step through the flight plan. We'll just look at it. So let me get charts up here. And all right, so we're coming in off of IHEYA. The hold is maximum speed 230, below 14,000, above maximum speed of 240. If you're above 20,000, there's what that is. That's all hold. All right, so from IHEYA, we'll head to focus at or above 4,000 to Kukul at or above 2,000. Okay, now these are very important to read. You'll see here in a minute, the airport's 11 feet above sea level. They're in inches, not HEPA. How about that? Transition level 14,000. All right, so from Kukul, we head for our arrival. Now, we're planning 18 right. There is no ILS. I could hear people gasping. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I love flying RNAVs, so. However, this one planned a little differently than I'm used to. Oh, the cadet must be getting up. All right, first off, for those of you curious how to read these jump charts or approach plates, across the top, they call this the briefing strip, but basically these are the frequencies you could come in contact with them. It's an RNAV approach. Final approach is 183. We'll get to the minimums down below, but our decision altitude, hang on a second. All right, sorry, just checking in with the chief of the household, the wife, chief of CEO, COO, CFO. I'm just a hired hand. No. Anyway, the bold means it's the altimeter. So when you, hang on, let me see how this will show on screen. There we go. Okay, so when you look at it, that's what's right in here, folks. Okay. That's 430 feet. Now, 11 feet difference here puts it at 419. That's above ground, and that's what we'll set here right now. Actually, we're going to set 419. I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. All right, so how do you, what would you do here? Now, a lot of the older aircraft only can set above ground. Those that have the baro settings and the RA/radar altimeter, that's the ones these pertain to. So you're setting to the above ground level with this. Now I can switch it to baro and we could set 430. Folks, it'll end up being the same place in the sky. It's just what are we measuring from, the sea level or the ground level? Ground is 11 feet higher than sea level here. Bogota, it's over 8,000 feet difference than sea level. So anyway, don't want to spend too much time on that. Next, there's you go, 11 and 11. So we got a flat runway. There's our missed approach. And now, how did we get here? This is where I had some troubles. And unfortunately, I can't. Well, maybe I can. Hang on. No, I can't. Thought I could, but no, I can't. We're 170. Okay. So from Kukul, 2,000 feet, we head to Raikum. Maximum speed, 210. Folks, you're only about 3 miles out. So more than likely, you're going to be at approach speed by Raikum. I'm sorry, Raikum is 8 miles out. So you're going to be at least gear down, flaps set, and slowed to about 160, whatever our approach speed will be when we pull that up. And 1,200 feet. So we're going to cruise along at 1,200 feet for 4 miles to Kamji. There we join and start our descent for the runway. This is where it got confusing in setting it up, and that's why I would love to, if need be, refly this simple 600-mile flight, folks, with someone experienced with rotate, RNAVs, everything with it, knows it inside and out, can even throw failures if they want at it, and know how to rebound off of it. I really got confused setting this one up for the RNAV. Because what it basically did, brought me down to H8L50, then H8L5152 oval runway 18. I'm like, what? So I'm hoping, and the weather says I should, be able to see the runway and not have any troubles here. We'll see. Yeah, it was really confusing, folks. The ILS is for this runway, the right one. So a lot of questions came up on it. Maybe, I don't know, I got it. Something about Prof, P-R-O-F. I can't remember the first word to it. It was, you can go back in the beginning and see it. No, you can't, because I was doing it before we came on. One of the few times I wished I'd have done that. But anyway, so from there, there's our missed approach. Okay, here we go. We'll get our approach speed in a moment, but I'm thinking right about here. So we're probably about 800 feet a minute. Well, we don't have a time, so Hiles and Pappy on the left. We're a D performance aircraft, so we have to have 419 feet broken or overcast base. So, being that METARs come out at 100 intervals, 200, 300, 400, 500, we're going to go with 500. So if we're minimum is below 500, we've got to be very careful. Yes, we can come down to 419 feet. That's red above ground level, by the way, folks. But we've got to be careful, because we may have to go to Shanghai if we have to do a mist. On top of that, okay, on top of it being a minimum of 419, we got to have 1,600 meters for visibility. At or above. Same thing, at or above 419. Now, when we're coming down the approach, we can drop below 500, but we better be ready to punch it if we get below 419, don't see a runway. Okay? And that, folks, is our charts once we get on the ground. I'm probably going to park us somewhere in here. We'll kind of see it. I've got a parking chart, but the map here shows that it should cover. It doesn't. Here's that map. It just covers the terminal. So, which is fine. You know, I get it. And across the way, we could park here. But I'd like to be over here. I really don't know where cargo parks here. So, if they actually really get cargo, it may go to Kadena. I kind of doubt it, but it could. All right, so let's pull charts out of the way. And we are currently 131 miles out. So get in a little closer before we punch that takeoff approach phase. And see what we've got ahead of us. Okay, so I hope y'all are enjoying the flight. Hope you all, we might be able to now do the second flight on time instead of break them up, because I had an important phone call. I've been unemployed since May, and had a phone interview that went 5 minutes, waiting on an email. And as soon as we get that, go through it, hopefully we're, you know, working our way towards employment again. Been an interesting 5 months. However, I will say this much. Besides working on stream here, you know, helping the wife out here with this 4-month-old from day one. Well, literally. Um, and now we've got our other daughter needs our help too for a few weeks. Um, it's kind of nice that I've been available to help out. Again, tomorrow, no streams at all. Um, just no way. Not with two 4-month-olds and unknowns that go with all of that. So, and trying to be that bridge that helps, you know, through all of this. There's a lot going on. So, you know, one thing I forgot to do on takeoff? DR. So, that's tomorrow. No streams. Thursday, we'll be back at it. Down in the schedules, folks, you can see what we've got planned for you. We're going into some challenging approaches on Thursday. Building up to yet another one I'm working on. Don't know when we'll put that in, so I don't want to say much more about it. But definitely Thursday you'll love. We're heading to what's called Pasto in Colombia. And it's a very interesting approach you'll enjoy. I know a lot of guys like to fly the 727. I've done it. I mean, it is fun to fly in. We're going to be taking a bus in there, probably an A320 Neo. Maybe we'll go in with the flight factor. We'll weigh that out when we get to it. But or the 319. I mean, either one will work. So I hope you'll enjoy that. So, but we are today in the MD-11 from Rotate and enjoying a nice Far Eastern cargo run. How much time? All right, folks, I'll be right back. Let me use the restroom. We'll get set up for landing. All right, folks, 87 miles out. All right, let's look at the takeoff. I didn't even realize what I was getting ready to do. Let's look at our takeoff arrival page. All right, there isn't anything to put on it. It fills itself in, which is weird. You would think we'd have to fill it in. But anyway, here's what we're looking at. Clean to 208, slaps at 168.57, landing speed 154. Approach at 160. So I'm going back, looking at our chart. Hang on, I'll bring it in real quick. Okay. So 160 is 849 feet a minute descent if the glide slope's not there to be on a 3-degree slope. So from 1200 down to 300 or 400, we'll be going at that 850 feet a minute descent. And landing at 155, hopefully. We will do 35. Okay, last thing. We got a 9,800 foot runway, so everything looks good here. Sim toolkit. Let's go into sim brief. Just much easier to use it this way, folks. Bear with me. This kills me when I'm trying to find something quick. Get rid of these. Okay. Now, let's go over here, view the flight plan currently in. So here you see it. Let's go to landing. 18 left. Had to make sure. We're coming in 35. That's what we got. Let's do it. Calculate. Okay, so everything pretty well matches up. And we're looking at about, we're coming in, how are we setting the brakes? Max. So we'll use up about 6,700 feet. You can see where we are. Folks, believe it or not, this is one of the nicer trips I've had out here. Usually, I kind of joked yesterday on Discord with some folks, and I wasn't really kidding, folks. 9 out of 10 times when I fly these routes up and down from, say, Hong Kong to Japan, somewhere in there, I'm flying around a hurricane, typhoon in this case. It just boggled my mind that that's how it always is. And today, we actually have a decent run. So heck yeah, we're going to, we're going to have to do that commercial that we've seen on TV a couple years back. We're out of coffee. Turn the plane around, head for Colombia. All right, so you can see top of descent showing up on the map here. Right here, and so we're going to get the aircraft set up. Oh, I can't. I got to click here. Okay. All right, so the altitude we're coming down to, looks like we'll bring her down to 4,000. Little jam out session here, folks. Again, I'm trying something new with my music sounds. Let me know. Right now I'm not using my laptop to back this up in my ears to see how it's doing. So let me know. But again, thanks Ansel Leaf 915 for the great raid. We appreciate you. And let's get ready for Naha, Okinawa. I'm going to go ahead. By the way, I'm killing the music in case y'all go, It's really quiet. You need to turn the music up. It's actually off. But we're having fun, folks. Now, part of me is thinking about calling an audible on this next leg after um, Naha. So, let me see who we've got. Thinking about either the Philippines or Gwangju. Gwangju was my original intent. Um, FedEx has a hub there. But there's a neat little airport in the Philippines I like going into that FedEx would go to. And some of you in the military might have heard of it. So just kind of flipping a coin. Do I stick with what I have kind of, sort of, maybe planned, or call the audible? All right, we have begun our descent. What the heck does that mean? Select FedEx. All right, I'm not sure if I have control of the throttles or if the plane does. No worries, we're coming in. Again, folks, this is an RNAV approach, so no, if I go to the RadNav page, no frequencies for this. Now, there may be frequencies for Naha, and no, they won't even have the ILS in it. So we got to kind of watch. I'm just trying to see if we have auto throttle or not. We should, but let me just. All right, so let's see how we're working out here. All right, we're down to 24,000. And focus is where we're looking to be at our altitude. Okay, so we're doing good here, folks. All right, so let's start doing some descent checking. Okay, it flaps 35. Let's see how our winds are shaping up on us. Current weight. Oh, this is all meters. Never mind. It won't make sense to me. All right, EAD's cleared. Landing data's checked. Windshield anti-ice not needed, and descent limits set. All right, so we've prepared for landing. Let's go ahead, turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Wing lights are already on. Whoa, hopefully that didn't do anything for you guys. Holy mackerel, I did. Oh, what the heck I just clicked? Huh. All right, transition was 14,000. Okay. Oh, excuse me, folks. All right, so getting ready to make the turn to our IHEYA. Pilot Dave Bodel, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you enjoy the ride in here. We'll try to do our best with the MD-11. But thank you for following the stream. right, speed brakes. All right, folks, we're through 300, and currently about 30 miles from, uh, as I call it, IHEYA. All right, we're down to 250 now. Let's get her. And then we'll watch our speeds. All right, so we are getting close to starting the approach into Naha. Thought about doing Kadena, but Naha, it's been a long time since I've flown the approach here. Better part of 10, 15 years, so ought to be fun. And we've never done the RNAV. We always took the ILS. Yeah, I really hate, and don't think it's an X-plane thing, folks. I've seen this in other sims from the other side of the world. So, but I will tell you, we've definitely got to work on our sighting in the A321. Boy, that got really tough to see the runway. Right, there's 10,000. Make sure you click the main lights and taxi twice. What it is, I think we leveled off. They are, you can see lights that extend out from the side. So we did, oh no, we're still coming down, okay. So make sure they retract and extend, just like 737s, Airbuses right next to the landing gear. They come out of the wing, come down. Pylons on many of the more older 737s. So nothing new, it's just make sure you double click. DC-9, most notable. And C-17, C-5, I think, don't quote me, on the wingtips. C-130 in between the two engines on the wing. So it's not an unknown feature, folks. All right, we are slowly approaching our 4,000 foot limit. We're going to be there plenty of time. And again, we started about 20 miles from top of descent. So we're doing a lot better than we, boy, we buzzed over a lot of fields on our way to Kansai last time. Got down so early, but that's okay. It's always better to be at that number than trying to get down to it and keep your speeds. in check, because sometimes your speed brakes can't hold you back enough. Unless you're in the Concorde and you can push that reverse thrust a little bit. But again, folks, put in the chat. Asked out there. I'm not going to set up a poll or anything. I probably should. But Gwangju, Z, Golf, 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 or Philippines? Where would you like us to head to on the next leg? And I have been, holy mackerel, remiss. We have been raising money and continue for the next week or so. We're teamed up with Digital Combat Sim CVW20 and Duluth Fly. We're all teaming together to raise $2,000 for the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. Many of you are going, who? They're an organization, folks, that steps in to help Naval and Marine Corps personnel, help those guys and gals transition from the world of the Navy and the Marines. And folks, some of that world can be pretty rough. Transition from that into the civilian world. Otherwise, this side of the fence, civilian world. And that can be really tough for them because, especially with the Marines, if you didn't know this about the Marines, folks, they are the first units in to war, last ones out. So they see a lot. And, they need that, they may need that extra help in trying to transition from that world into this civilian world. I call it civilian because many of us take for granted the rights they protect for us. This is your way to help them. Some of them are coming with physical problems. Some are coming with mental troubles. Some just need a little help. What the skills? What are these skills good for in finding a job in the civilian world? That's where this organization steps in and needs your help. So, take a look. You've got spare cash lying around that you never knew. It's under your couch, under your driver's seat, passenger seat of your car. Um, Maybe just lying around where you go through McDonald's and you throw $1 or something under the dash before you get home and forget it's there. And all of a sudden, hey, look, I got $20 out here. You didn't even know you had it before. Why not give it to these folks? They're a great organization to step in and help these folks. Again, we're about a quarter of the way there, on our way to $2,000. Really, really would love for your help. All right, folks, and again, the links are there in the chat room as well as up on the banner that we have flying here. But we do appreciate any help that we can get. These men and women really deserve our affections and help. All right, one of those pieces of island out there is where we're landing. I'm just not sure which one. All right, folks, we're coming up on Prius. Correction, focus, man, focus. At or above 4,000, then Kukul at or above 2,000. So we'll start another descent, and we're going to begin slowing this beastie down to 200 by Kukul, because that's our initial fix for either the ILS 18 left, correction, 18 right, or the RNAV to 18 left. There is no ILS on that one. All right, let's get the map dialed in a little. Okay, there's 4,000 for another 16 miles. All right, so I'm going to go ahead dial in 2,000. Excuse me, folks. And actually, I'm wrong. That is not what we're landing on. It's still out there. However, that's more of the island that we're aiming for over here. It's just down a ways. All right, so I hope you've all enjoyed Kansai to Naha. We should be on the ground in about 10 minutes or so. And then we'll begin preparing. Again, the question to the class, Philippines or China? Where would you like to see us fly to? But before we can do that, I got to get cleared from the CEO, because she knew that we were going to operate a different way, and she could have meetings that need what's behind me, her screens and all. So, but right now, would you rather go to China, Guangzhou, north of Hong Kong, or the Philippines? Wonder what airports those are. Got two strips there and another one right over there. Huh, interesting. Ijima? Is that part of Iwo Jima? I thought that was... It's an auxiliary field for Kadena, is what it looks like. Taiwan. Taiwan. Let's see. I said Philippines or China, and Tomcat comes back with Taiwan. Just because Tomcat fighters can't fly past Taiwan. Just Taiwan. Huh, interesting thought. Just kidding with you there, boss man. Just kidding. All right, let's start this descent, shall we? Also, let's go ahead and dial our speed back to 220 for now. That was great. Love it. Yeah, I'm starting to think about the Philippines too, more and more. Even though it's a little longer flight time, I'm starting to really think about that one. All right, and we're slowing to 210. Actually, 220. Speed brakes are retracted, right? Yep, okay. Now, at Kukul, we drop, we actually hold 2,000 till Raycom. Actually, we descend to 2000 or 1200 by Rakem and hold that to Jamji. And on a clear day, we're looking pretty good for this approach. So I'm going to dial in one more notch. Okay. Now, as we approach Kulkal, Qkul, we will then slow to 180. Take our time into here. Because like I said, Autoland is scary, to say the least. By the way, there's, I believe, the portion of the island we're headed for. Probably wrong again. As you can tell, I haven't flown into Okinawa in a long time on a sim. All right, coming into 2000, 220, let's get going before landing. Approach, decision, altitude set, seatbelts on, approve. Let's get our auto brake set. Okay, and flaps will begin here real soon deploying. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the slowdown. Roger, descending 1,200 feet. FedEx 572 heavy. Slats. All right, looking for a runway out there, folks. Okay, Rycombe is 8 miles out. Ooh, it's hazy. Okay, here come the speed brakes. Cadet is awake. Oh my gosh. Hi, do you feel better? All right, folks, we are lining up. I think we're starting to see the runway, but we need to start our descent. Till we do. I want to make sure I have it fully in sight before I take over. However, I am going to take the speed so I don't forget. Okay, I think I have runway environment off with it. Where are we at flaps? Another notch. Hey, get these clouds out of the way. I got to be able to see this runway. There we go. Now we're firming up a lot better. Landing, stable. All right, folks, welcome in. Little bit of a hard landing, but overall not bad. Let's see here. Hopefully there was nobody here. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even make one radio call. All right. Let me bring the flaps up. Auto brake off. All right, let's taxi to the gate. All right, after landing, spoilers, flaps, radar, transponder off. Like I said, we'll park down closer to those hangars at the end. Now, question to some of you all who were in the military. Was this airport at one time used by SAC? And I'll show you why in a minute when we get parked. It looked like they had an alert area. Or was Kadena actually first and then this one? All right, so let's go weather radar. Click. Okay. Just getting things set up here. State trim 3. Almost there. What else do we got? APU needs to come on. Okay. Up top here, APU, lights. And like I said, folks, we'll park down here, get an idea where and what we have. I think I'm just going to park right here. All right, folks, we're just going to pull in here. I think this is more military for the Japanese air defense. P3s, P8s, I think they have P8s and other aircraft. All right, we are in the blocks. Okay, APU should be up and running by now. Tail fella looks good. APU is indeed running. Bleed air on. And all right, folks. Check down here. All right, fuel switch is off, transponders at standby, seatbelts are off, doors can be opened. All right, folks, we have arrived at our destination. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, wasn't pretty. All right, let's get up here. Just looking at a couple things. Doors may be open, emergency power switch off, anti-ice off, defog off, and we are good. All right, head over here real quick, ground ops. Let's go ahead, put the wheel chocks in, bring the stair out, open the doors. And there you have it, folks. We have arrived. We are here. And I hope you enjoyed that from Kansai. All right, let's take a look at this, shall we? First off, with the airline, 415 feet a minute. Yeah, I ran into a lot of trouble. So that one's pending. Go to flights, and we'll put it there. Sim toolkit. All right, so thing we have to do is complete the flight. Okay. All right, they got us 491. Yeah, it actually felt better than that, but yeah, I can give it. I could have felt why they went there. 2 Gs, 491, 153. At least we got the speed right, and it was an hour and 50-minute flight. Not bad, folks. Not bad at all. All right, and as you can see, hang on a second. You can see it is a military base. P3's parked here. Out of curiosity. I could have parked here for. I didn't think about that. That's what I get for. Oh well, we're okay where we are. All right, but looking at the overall stats, we came in this way. There's the threshold. There's where we aim to land at, folks. No matter what runway you're on, that is the visual cue for you to land. So if you're in the real world learning to fly, look for those. We landed before 1,000 feet down the runway, which, by the way, at most U.S. airports, you're right on those white lines. Here, they've got them a little displaced. That's Japan authority. They can do that. 12 feet to the right. Not bad. Not bad overall, just a little heavy on the landing. Okay. What I'm going to do right now, folks, is take a little break, make sure we're good to go for yet another leg. Um, Part of me really is leaning to the Philippines. So bear with me. We're going to come offline and let's see how Elevatex did. Ooh, got a message. Hang on. No, I don't. Forgot about that. There we go. Get y'all a better look at the MD-11 from rotate out here. All right, we are. Don't worry, it was going to do that no matter what. All right, I'm just looking over other people, what they're looking at doing. All right, folks, I will be right back. Hang on a second. Be right back. All right, folks, we are back and getting ready to head to the Philippines. Hang on a second. RP. All right. Hang on, just getting the title taken care of here first. Okay, folks, we're headed to Clark International in the Philippines. It's, I forget how many miles from Manila. I know one of these I thought said that. About 50 miles northwest of Manila. So to give you a kind of a roundabout way to figure it out. Hang on a second. I just realized something with a Velatech. I forgot to complete the flight. All right, so we are gonna do this from scratch, folks. So bear with me here. I gotta change a couple things. Um, let's see here. Let me see if they have a direct flight here with this virtual airline. Our PLC is the designator. Nope. Okay, so we're good. I always like to make sure all possibilities are put in here. Oh, well, that pretty well narrowed it down. All right, so we're going to create a flight. We're going to do okay, and all right, MD-10. No, we're MD-11. And all right, hang on a second here, folks. Oops, you know what? I think I need to take that down. All right, let me just finish up getting this put into our system here at MACAIR. Oh, where are you? There you are, and we'll plan. All right. And come over here, refresh. Perfect. All right, so we're ready to start flight planning. All right, so the best flight planning tool out there, folks, is SimBrief. And what I've done is tied it into Sim Toolkit right here. All right, so what I do is click New Flight. We're going to be FDX 57. Oops, sorry about that. 572. Oh, wait, you're not seeing this. There we go. So what I've done is I've tied SimBrief down here so I can just pull it up with this real easy, keeps it all nice and easy in the system. So you can all, plan and view where you are in the world. We're at ROAH and we are heading to RPLC, Romeo Papa Lima Charlie, Clark International. Used to be called Clark Air Base back in the military days with the U.S. Air Force. I want to say the Navy, but they may have been more closer to, oh, I just had it and it left. Anyway, it's near Manila, closer to the water in Manila. Okay, let me just scroll down, find MDF. We're flying 584 for FedEx. And let's plan, what time is it? Let's go a little later. Let's go 22:30. Apply. And there's the route real quick so you can see it. Generating. I want to see how long this flight is. I didn't look. Ooh, 2 hours. Maybe I should have gone to Taiwan, Tomcat. Okay, hang on just a second, folks. Stand by. We're going to double check this here real quick because tomorrow, early call to get on the road to get to St. Charles here in the area I live. Stand by. Hey, here comes the Manny. Welcome aboard, sir. Bear with me. I'll be right back. All right, folks. You just passed over my town. Awesome. What town would that be? But anyway, folks, I am going to have to, unfortunately, call this flight. Um, just too much going on with the young cadet here, 4 month old. Plus the early call. I think it would be best if I just um, gave it a rest today. We'll be back Thursday. Challenging approaches south of Manila. That's where you are. Well, awesome. I wish we could carry on, but I think we need to call this flight. And dang it, I'd love to make the run, but all right. Well, so folks, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And here comes the Manny. This flight will be flown probably either over the weekend or next week. And so be looking for it. We'll be coming into Clark pretty soon. Um, I don't know of any cargo parking at Manila, otherwise I'd head there, but I do know FedEx goes into Clark. So folks, for now, again, my apologies for getting all of us riled up thinking, hey, we're going to head over to north of Manila, but I really do need to help out the wife. So for now, folks, I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe for some. And we'll be back in the sky Thursday. We'll be up in South America, coming out of Bogota for Pasto, then over to Cali, and then who knows where we'll end up. But thank you all for coming out. Thanks, Azul Leaf, for the raid. Pilot Dave Bodell, thank you for following. And here comes the Manny. Thank you for being a part here. And folks, while we're offline, don't forget the Navy, Marine Corps Relief Society. They really could use help. We're trying with CVW 20 and Duluth Fly to raise $2,000 for them here over the next week. Don't forget them. So, folks, I am going to go ahead. I hate doing that, man. I really do, but she needs my help. So, I'm going to call this one, and you all have a great day, and we'll be back at it on Thursday. And let me look for someone to pay it forward in a raid. I was gonna say, Duluth Fly? In what? No, we got bad attitude in a long haul? Azul? You know what? We're just going to pay it back to Azul. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you Thursday. God bless you all, and be safe.